Okay, we good, cuz.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peace, and blessings. Welcome to the second episode of the Black Masculist podcast. I am your host, RJ Battles, with my cousin Buzzin. Cousin, introduce yourself.
What's good? You got your boy Emil here, Emil Low. What's happening, my people?
That's what's up, man. What's been going on, cuz? How your weekend been?
Man, everything been pretty good. Everything is aligned the way it's supposed to. Just keep moving, looking forward, keeping everything straight. You feel me?
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
How about yours, brother?
I ain't been doing nothing, man. But, the same old, man. Just trying to work, trying to make money. Same old, Finally got a little bit of...
Yeah, objective.
Right. Just chilled out a little bit, But, just to let the listeners know, once again, here at the Black Masculist, we advocate and promote the rights of the original man and the positive imagery of black men all across the Americas and abroad. Aligning with the Black Masculinist movement, we seek to end toxic masculinity and heal our brothers one at a time, spiritually, physically, and most importantly, mentally. Black masculinity is not a movement, it's a state of mind. So this second episode of the Black Masculist podcast show is titled Labor Day. I know Labor Day was last week, but I really want to get into the importance of some of the things that we and our culture bring to not just the United States but to the world. And to open up the conversation, I want to open up the conversation with a quote from Kareem Biggs Burke, third member of the Rockafella team. But the quote goes, hustlers don't complain, we figure it out.
Right.
Once again, yep. Once again, hustlers don't complain, we figure it out.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that quote, cuz?
See, well, from experience of just being a hustler. I mean, that don't even have to be, the masses kind of look at being a hustler as a drug dealer, but a hustler is basically just you hustling. You always working towards being lucrative, trying to bring in a profit by any means necessary. So the mentality of being a hustler is you don't have no choice, so you have to figure it out. You know what I mean? That with your back against the wall, bring the gorilla out of you. You know what I'm saying? It brings that motivation out of you. You know what I mean? It's almost like the struggle prompts you to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's either you breach the gaps or you fail, and it ain't no falling from here. You know what I mean? So I love that statement. It's the truth, and Kareem Biggs and is he's one of the best. You know what I mean? He leads by example and says less and say less. You know what I mean?
Definitely, I like that. This is actually one of my favorite quotes right here. Out of all the quotes that we post on the website, theblackmasculist.com. Of course, you check that out, theblackmasculist.com. But this quote right here is definitely one of my favorite quotes. Because exactly everything that you just said, 100%. But I remember when I was going over the quote, I was thinking that, like I said, everything that you were saying, but it just reminded me of this conversation that I had with this guy, one of my coworkers, a guy I used to work with, rather. We had a conversation a while back. It was a race conversation, and I try to have these conversations with people of different races, just to see where everybody is at. A lot of people, they try to shy away from speaking about race and stuff like that with other races, but I mean, that's the only way we'll come together is if we talk about our differences as well as our similarities.
Right.
And, as of right now, the space that America is in right now, it's a lot of racial tension. So we talked about that, and we got into a little bit of our background and stuff like that. And a lot of people, they always quick to say things like, well, okay, you sold drugs when you was a kid, and you did that was your choice. That was on you.
You know what? And it is easy saying that from a different perspective and a different livelihood being brought up. Like,
exactly.
That was the choice. See, it's different where you come and where all you got is, bread in the cabinet. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
There's nothing there. And when you walk outside, you know what I mean, you see the man pulling up, you know what I mean, in the big truck, big rims, and you find out, like, okay, what do he do? You know what I'm saying? You find out what that is, and naturally you want these things. I mean, that was just the image of success. It's material things, you know what I mean? And we find out what he do, and that's it's almost not a choice because you have to react fast, and that's the fastest way to make money is hustling. And what is the fastest way to make money at that point in time, and where you at with no car, no finances to get to any job.
Yep.
And I mean, you could just walk outside and get something to sell it and make money off of it.
And that's what I had mentioned to him. I was like, you got to understand, everything is a choice. But what we don't talk about is the lack thereof of options, the lack of options. Like,
there you go.
Not everybody has 1,000,001 things that can help them get out of a situation. And that's why this quote, you know what I'm saying, rings so true. And it's one of my favorite quotes because it's like, yo, hustlers don't complain, we figure it out. We make options. It's like, yo, I only have a couple options. I gotta make a way. I gotta figure it out. I gotta look at these situations.
That's crazy. That you gotta make options first before you have to make options first. That's crazy.
Unlike other people where, people may grow up in an environment where, they may don't have to create different options because the options that they have they have good options. But, there's a lot of people that don't have good options. So in order to get out of the situation, you got to create the options. So I think that quote right there, that's what I get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Hustlers don't complain. We figure it out. I'm going to sit down here and I'm going to look at this situation at every different angle, because if I look at it every different angle, it's like I'm looking through different windows on how to figure this out. And I in turn end up creating more options that will enable me to create more and better solutions for whatever it is that I'm going through.
Yeah, and shout out to Kareem Biggs for saying it so humbly.
Shout out
being so humble, and shout out to him to say it so humble. You know what I mean? But you're hearing it from a man that's seasoned. You know what I mean? That already been through the struggle and knows the way. So it's easy. It's more, you could say, humbly now. But I'm pretty sure at the beginning of his time he was a lot more aggressive. You know what I mean? So you can actually get the message more clear, being humble, putting that message in the air like that. But
So again, people, for the quote of the week, I should say. If you go to the website, you're always going to get a quote of the day. But here on the podcast, we're going to do the quote of the week. And that quote of the week is, hustlers don't complain, we figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that all plays into what we provide, as far as our culture and the things that we create for America and abroad. You know what I'm saying? We create things out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? And we put the work in. No one is more deserving of labor of having a day off than us. You know what I'm saying?
Labor Day, guys. Labor Day. A day off of labor. You know what I mean? And that's even mentally, fellas. We always, physically we always moving, hustling, working, you know what I mean, try to make means for ourselves, our family, our loved ones, friends, whoever, but even a day off mentally, find your way to relax. And, that's even going into meditation. And I don't really want to dig deep into meditation because, they got this image of when you say, you know what I mean? Meditation is a feminine thing, or it's like a yoga thing, or it's like a spiritual thing. No, it's actually a medicine. It's actually reality that you have to relax the mind to relax the body. Medicine.
Right. As soon as you do that, you open the channels up, you know what I'm saying, for you to create more and more opportunities. Right. And I want to talk about someone that made he made huge contributions, you know, to the world. A man who definitely put his work in. But before I even talk about him, man, I forgot, man. You know, we got a bunch of birthdays this week. Coming up this week. As we're taping this right now, it's Sunday, September 8th. So we're gonna do the birthdays for this upcoming week. Want to give a happy birthday shout out tomorrow on the 9th is R&B legend Otis Redding's birthday. He would have been 78. On the 10th is Big Daddy Kane's birthday. He turning the big 51. That's dope right there. Yeah. On the 11th, dancehall superstar Elephant Man, he turned 45. Wow. Also on the 11th, Ludacris, he turned 41. On the 12th, Jesse Owens, you know, one of the greatest Olympic athletes of all time. Jesse Owens, had he still be alive, he will be turning the big 106.
Wow.
Yeah, and the first thing about special thing about Jesse Owens too, man. You know, if I'm correct, you know, Jesse Owens was the first athlete sponsored by a shoe company.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and guess what the shoe company was?
What was it?
It's the same shoe company that was the first ones to endorse rappers, Adidas.
Wow, I did. Yeah. I know it was Run DMC. Was they the first?
They were the first rappers.
To get the Adidas deal.
Yeah.
Wow. So Adidas
been holding it down for us, you know what I'm saying, for the longest. You know, big shout out to Adidas, you know, the brother that had you know, his story, you know, white guy from Germany, but it's just his story, you know, is real deep, far along the lines of when it comes to racism and stuff like that. And that's something that we'll talk about on another episode. But I'm also going to add in with Jesse Owens before I continue the birthday with Jesse Owens. Also, did you know that when he won, it was one of the Olympics where he won, I can't think of it right now, but the president of the United States at that time would not attend the track meet, the Olympic track meet. So he didn't see when Jesse Owens won. He didn't send out any kind of congratulations or anything. And he didn't send out anything. And guess who was I know, right, because of the time. But it was in Germany. So guess who was the guy who congratulated him and told him he is a credit to his people and the country that he came from?
Who's that?
Adolf Hitler.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Adolf Hitler. That's something. Yeah. So that's a whole other story that, you know, we can get into at another episode as far as racism and racism, sports, sneaker companies, Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah. But to continue with the birthday celebration, Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, he will also be turning 43 on the 12th.
Oh.
We got former Black Panther, Tupac's uncle, the great Geronimo Pratt, that he still be alive. He'll be turning 72 on the 13th. My man Tavis Smiley. Tavis Smiley, one of the greatest black journalists of all time. Love Tavis Smiley. On the 13th, he'll be turning 55. And to close it out, Olympic sprinter, former Olympic sprinter, Michael Johnson, he will be turning 52 on the 13th, and a man by the name of Elaine Locke, who is the first African-American Rhodes Scholar, writer, philosopher, and the inventor of the Harlem Renaissance. Had he still been alive today, he will be turning 134.
Wow.
So that's Black Masculist birthday shouts out. Birthday shouts out from the Black Masculist, the great black man, and America and abroad as well. But like I said, Coach, you know, I wanted to get into someone who had definitely made a huge contribution to the world, who definitely put that work in, and that's a man by the name of Robert Mugabe, former president to Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, if I'm correct, I think it was this Friday, Robert Mugabe passed away at the tender age of 95.
95. Bless.
Yeah.
Blessings to that powerful man.
Interesting guy. Now, for those who are listening who may not know who Robert Mugabe is or know anything about Zimbabwe, so let me just tell y'all, I've been talking about Zimbabwe and Robert Mugabe on the Black Masculist for a long time, in the 5 years that we've been active. And Zimbabwe basically is the real Wakanda. It's the real Wakanda. It used to be called Rhodesia. For anybody who knows, Africa has been, for a millennium, the continent of Africa was under British colonial rule. Racism extended all across the world, and they went over there taking over stuff. And they had the one country, Rhodesia, very much like in South Africa with Nelson Mandela, Robert Mugabe. He was a revolutionary. He fought with his team. They got it in, with the British government. Boom, 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 went. Him and his boys, they went down, did 10 years in jail. As soon as he got out of jail, got right on them boys' heels. They end up
right back at it.
They end up making a deal, that was in the Africans' favor, and Rhodesia ended up becoming the nation of Zimbabwe. Robert Mugabe was the prime minister. Then he became the president, raised the standards of provided education to all, provided health care to all. And interestingly enough, he did what I personally believe, by and large, white people in America fear.
You said by and large what?
White people fear here in America.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a strong black figure taking shit over.
Right.
Because with all the great things that Robert Mugabe is known for in the country of Zimbabwe, and like I said, making it an economic and a technological superpower like Wakanda, for real, he was also criticized for the way he treated white people. This was the man who, very much like Idi Amin, who people also have their take on him and, whatever their feelings about him. But this was a man who made white people bow in his presence. You can't talk to me. You got to bow.
Right.
Now, we here in America, we like, okay, then, that's a little harsh. But, when Britain invaded Africa, I don't know. I don't want to draw comparisons between what we suffered over here as Africans in America and what the Africans in Africa suffered over there. But this man, he rose to power and literally took land back. He's like, this land belongs to the people.
And that's very important to explain the history to identify the man's perception and the way he went about things. Like how you say he had white people bowing down to him, like before they speak to him. But if you just say that, you're like, wow, that's not right. Everyone's human, but you have to explain the reason why. Your environment is what creates you the way you are. So it's deep. It's just a long line of it. Like you're saying, is it wrong, or is he wrong for going about it this way, or you saying, what he been through and his family been through, again, that's everything takes time to become to become fully peaceful and not aggressive and not seeing things as in race, But if that's all you see growing up, being killed by a certain kind, so it's that's all you see. When you see that, that's your reaction. It's almost like for instance, real quick, I'm on my way to work, and I meditate better with my eyes open, not closed. I actually I'm more move. I meditate on the move, right? So
walking meditation, it's a thing. Walking meditation.
So check it. But I was actually driving. I was calming myself down, emptying my mind before I enter work. So and I'm just paying attention to my breathing. And what I was doing was I was paying attention to my heart rate, my breathing, at the things that I see on my way to work. Just seeing my reactions to things naturally, how I feel when I see it. Don't you know, when I see a cop car passing by, naturally my breathing changed, my heart rate went up, and I switched my hand on the wheel. I'm like, what in the world? And just coming from my past experience of, being pulled over for no reason, getting locked up. I've been locked up twice for no reason, right? And just so it just my experience is even that's why it's hard for me to even point my finger at the man and saying that's wrong. He's
right.
Only
so that's the question. Yeah, I'm going to cut you off, but that's the question. For those who out there listening, for those who out there that like the Black Masculist and that continue to support us with promoting the positive imagery of Black men all across America and abroad. For those of you out there who listening to the podcast, who like the podcast, topics like this, I would love to open up a dialogue. I don't know. Maybe we can. You guys can comment on the video. Maybe you guys can hit us up on Facebook or on Instagram. We on Instagram and Facebook at the Black Masculist 1. That's the number 1, the Black Masculist number 1. But I want to know what you guys feel about that, though. Because this is something that we as Black people, especially Black men, really need to talk about. We really need to ask this question. It's like, with all that happened, with all that went on in that particular area, with those particular situations, and what that man ended up becoming and what he did, is he wrong? Was he wrong?
Is he wrong? Was he wrong for being collectively who he became? And everyone has a sole purpose, because if it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't have. Because even though you being yourself in an environment, it's a lot of things surrounding you scientifically. Energetically, for that to happen, for things to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to get at? That was his sole purpose, to be who he was.
Exactly.
And who he became. And that image, maybe that image through someone's eyes is like, that is just wrong. But through maybe an African eyes, that actually gave them hope. Because again, it's the balance of all things that probably gave that young African child, when he's seen that hope, that is possible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because when you it's especially because we don't hear a lot about Robert Mugabe. Now, mind you, Robert Mugabe was just ousted from the government in 2017. So literally, this man, he ran this country since 1980s. My whole entire life, he's ran this country and made it a superpower. And he just got ousted. You know what I'm saying?
He needs an action figure.
And the funny thing, yeah, and here's the funny thing. The new president has even said it himself that he looked up to Robert Mugabe.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, in closing, we really got to look at what's really, really important, in contrast to what we want to make important. Because at the end of the day, you know, everybody loved Nelson Mandela, and Nelson Mandela was a great man too. But I quote Robert Mugabe in saying, "When I leave, I'm gonna leave my people land." Mandela just left our people poems, quotes, and a statue. I'm leaving our people land.
And you know what? Both of them are okay because Nelson Mandela was who he was and delivered what he can for being himself and delivered what he was supposed to. And, you know, it's be yourselves and deliver. And you know, I don't want us to take that quote as in he looking down on Mandela. He's just saying this is just another part.
Exactly.
This is another piece to it because poetry, quotes, you know, that's the mind.
And that goes into what I be saying.
Something your feet can be under, you know.
Right. And that goes into to what we be talking about, you know, how what me and you be talking about personally in our conversations outside of on the Black Masculist. It's about the duality of man and how, you know what I'm saying, you know, there's, and, you know, and it even goes with the quote of the day that we was talking about, the quote of the week. You know, there's different ways to skin a cat. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be able to come up with those ways. You got to be able to sit back and you got to create something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, such and such way was different from this way, such way is different from that way. But to the listeners, you know what I'm saying? If anyone who want to participate, like, yeah, let's open up a discussion. Let's see how everybody feel. If we got some people that listen, I know we have viewers on the motherland. We do have viewers in the motherland. So I mean, you know, I reach out to some of our Nigerian brothers and some of our brothers in the Congo and in Zimbabwe. You know, let us know how y'all feel about that. Let us know who, you know, we're not in Africa, we're in America. We're Africans in America. So let us know how, you know, what Robert Mugabe was and how important he was and what he did for the country.
Right. What do you think about as far as us being Africans in America? Do you say we African American or do you say we American African by being born in America?
Africans born in America, but you know, like I said,
American African or African American.
Africans born in America. We're Africans born in America.
They first.
Right. You know, I there's people out there that, you know, they may want to put their Native American ancestry over that. But I mean, when you break down everything, man, I mean, everybody, man, what Lil Trey saying, Boys in the Hood, everybody from Africa, all y'all, everybody.
I like that. And, you know, that's a good piece that you know, you kind of bring that back and you put it in different perspectives where we all can understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? That's real.
But, you know, it's men like these, you know, that really, really, really put they front foot forward to really, really make a change in the world. You know,
absolutely.
And just like how we was talking earlier, you know what I'm saying, you know, with the quote of the week or whatever, you know, the power of the mind is something else. You know what I'm saying? The power of the mind is something else, you know, and we really, really got to understand that we use a lot more brain power than we think we do. And we really need to own up to that. We really need to own up to that and stop looking through inferior lenses and really, 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 really get into our God mode. And one person who really, really has been getting into the God mode, you know, this guy I was reading about, a guy by the name of Virgil Abloh, brother from Chicago, Nigerian brother from Chicago. And I know a lot of our young listeners probably may know who he is, but a little of the older fellas that listen, you know, and that go to the Black Masculist podcast may not know who he is. But Virgil Abloh he's Off White, you know, new high-end luxury brand created by a black man. He also did work with Kanye West. You know, he's he's all real deep into fashion. But what I like about him is he really uses both sides of the brain. He really showed that true power of the mind, where he uses where he uses his creative side to create art, create art on clothing, create art on TV, create art and everything. And then he uses the other side.
That's the right brain. They said that's the right brain, imagination, creativity, art. And then, but people get stuck there. And, you know, and like you said, with the left side of the brain, the strategic action.
Right. And he uses both sides. Right. And he uses both sides. He uses, you know what I'm saying, that side for the business end of it. And what makes him so special is, you know, like I said, he's an artist. He started out making shirts. Like, this guy would get like champion shirts and like make his own design on them and would sell them for like $500. You know what I'm saying? And he got so popping that he was approached by a group called the New Guards. You know, they wanted to do a deal with him. You know, they're like, hey man, you know, we can take this, you know, what you're doing to a higher level. You know, now traditionally, what happens here in America when it comes to the ideas that are manifested through the black mind, male or female, when the ideas are manifested through that great mind, people are quick to take advantage of that and try to put a foothold on it and claim it for theirs. You know, to give an example, you know, we just had the whole thing, what was it, last year about the world finding out that Jack Daniels was actually invented by a brother.
Yeah, that was.
And the idea was stolen. The idea was stolen.
That was something else.
And then there's also
the whole time that which that hit me because, you know, I always took shots at Jack D. You know, you know, hanging out with the uncles and you know what I mean. Jack Daniels was my drink when I took the shot every now and then. So that was something else there.
And it's like not even that, but the whole Jack Daniels, the recipe for that whiskey is like an old, it's like an old African beverage. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then there's go ahead, cuz. I'm sorry.
But you know, there's also even stories like Lewis Latimer, one of my favorite inventors. You know, who I've really been connected with recently because up until maybe about 3, 4, or 5 years ago when I started the Black Masculist, I thought Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. Apparently, Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb. The light bulb was invented by a black man.
Right.
But Thomas Edison was, but just like Virgil Abloh, he was a guy that knew about patents. And this goes into what about Virgil Abloh because he doesn't own the company Off White, which is his company that was started for him. You know, he ended up working with that group, New Guys, and they created this company to take his line, you know, out of this world. But he owns the trademark. He owns the actual name Off White. And the thing about that is just by him owning the name, the trademark, the name, what a lot of people don't understand is that trademark, the name of your company and what your company represents is actually worth more than your company itself.
Hey, that's a footnote. Definitely jot that down for all you entrepreneurs out there. All you, you know, all you guys out there creating the name. How you said it again? So you said the name is more important.
The name is worth, it's worth more than the business itself.
It's worth more than the business itself. That's almost like Kanye West. Somebody took his name, Kanye West still be Kanye West, but take his name from him, and he almost had to recreate himself. It's almost like an identity loss. Like
Prince did that.
Yeah. With the
Prince
symbol.
did that. Yeah, when he changed his name to the symbol, because the damn record company owned his name. His name as an artist. They owned his name. You know how strong
that was? That's crazy. Yo, because we still call him Prince. He changed his name to the symbol.
Mm-hmm.
That's how strong. That's how strong when it was Prince was. You know.
He got his name back.
He ended up getting it back.
Yeah. He became fully independent all the way up until his death. He remained fully independent. He got it back. But, you know, with brothers like him, you know, brothers like Lewis Latimer, you know, who knew, okay, yeah, I'm going to draw this and I'm going to make this for you, but I'm going to own the paperwork. It's brothers like Prince who was like, you want to know what? Y'all trying to take my name? You want to know what? All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to figure this out. You know, because hustlers don't complain. We figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. And he got his name back. You know what I'm saying?
We figure it out. And, you know, and that's what I mean when we stem it back to mentally and physically and meditation. You know, clearing the mind so you have enough energy and focus to do the paperwork, brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, and I'm a victim of that. You know, I can create, you know, but when it comes down to getting down and dirty and doing that paperwork, you know, that takes some extra focus. You know what I'm saying? That's the left brain. The left brain is no fun for me. But I do it. I do it because I have to. But it's no fun. But again, that's a fully mature brain when you're using both sides of the brain. You know, you create, you have your fun creating, but now you gotta run a machine now. Now it's time to run the machine after you create it. You know?
So it's like the man basically owns his masters. Like,
come on, man, literally.
And the importance of that, why it's really, really so important, because check this out. Like that company, Off White, it's a clothing company. It's just a clothing company. But because he owns the name Off White, it can be used for everything. He can have Off-White furniture. He can have Off-White workout equipment. He can have Off-White, you know, whatever. Off-White clocks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the company who owns the clothing company, they don't get none of that money. He gets all that money. He gets the money from the clothing company. If you want to make a watch company, he get the money from that. If you want to make workout gear, he get the money from that, all because he owns the trademark. So people, if you're listening, it is imperative that you own your shit.
You have to.
You gotta own your shit.
Hey, do the left brain work first. You know, put in that work, get in that paperwork first. I know you want to create. I know you love it. It's fun creating. It's easy to create. That's where we come from. We come from creation. You know, we come from creation. Creation is natural. Is it natural? Is paperwork natural?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because check this out. Yeah, because check this out. It takes two to make one. So you got to use both sides of your brain, because it takes two to make one.
It takes two to make one. What kind of math is that?
That's universal math.
That's universal math. It takes two to make one.
It takes two to make one. or two to make three. Your creativeness, your business size equals success.
Come on.
It's the duality that we constantly talk about. It's the balance that we constantly talk about. You got to have balance. And in order to have balance, you got to be real affirmed in who you are and what's yours.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen unless you're sure of it.
You got to be sure of it.
Nothing works out until you're sure. You know, you got to be sure. You got to be, you know, and you're working on your dream. You're working on, what you desire. You got to be sure about it. You got to know that you deserve it. It's not going to happen if you don't truly believe that you deserve it. I mean, coming up coming up from not having much, I thought money was a bad thing because we needed it so bad. So I thought having money was for bad, for bad people. Having a lot of money was evil. When they say money is the root of evil, so I think
that was a huge mind fuck.
Come on, they say what? That's what slowed me down for so long. They said money was the root of evil, so I said I don't want it, but I was stuck, and that's how long that takes to get over that part.
Yeah, I do.
When you're 10 years old, and your mother say I hate money. I hate the smell of it. I hate what it do to people. You know what I mean? And what does that do? What would that do to a young child? That's full of ideas.
Yeah. And the interesting, what it does is it destroys them, because the interesting thing is, America has conditioned us to put the blame on the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, money is an inanimate object.
Right.
It's an inanimate object with dead people on it. You know what I'm saying?
But it's what it is.
It's like we got to think about that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Money is to be used. It is to be used. It's an end to a means.
It's a vehicle to get what you
exactly.
want. Like
the mind fuck was making us not want money, because if we don't have money, we can't get things. Things cost money, and we continue to be poor.
Right.
People try to say things like money is not the root of evil. It's not. People are the root of evil.
Right.
I learned this.
The money has no opinion.
I learned this lesson when I was back home there in Buffalo as a promoter, as a hip hop promoter, and I had one of the weekly nights that I had, was at a club that black people didn't really go to because they thought it was racist. I try to bypass that and try to come with the idea like, yo, hey man, shit, we trying to get this money. Racism don't care about money.
That's a fact.
Racism don't care about money at all.
That's a fact.
Racism is going to be around whether you have money or whether you don't have money. It does not. So money is not a factor.
No, not a fact.
It's like people would kill me with that. Their feelings towards money, and it's like you got it backwards. It's not your feelings towards money; it's your feelings towards the situation. Like, you can't blame money on the fact that it's time to pay your rent. It's time to pay your rent. Like, you can't be mad at money because you got to pay your rent. You have to live there. You're living in, you know what I mean?
Yo, that's crazy. So do you understand like how much work it takes to build the black man up or a child up mentally before it can make an action? All of that mind fuck.
Yeah.
Before you can simply draw out your plans and plot it. You know what I mean? Like I figure out the best way to treat this, this system or this thing as a sport. Treat it like a sport, man. Treat it like a sport, like a big game. You know what I mean? Lace them boots up and get out there and play, man. You know what I mean? With no opinion.
Right.
Opinion, straight action and facts. Action and facts.
Right. But in closing, because we gotta get up out of here. In closing, man, definitely quote the quote of the week: "Hustlers don't complain, we figure it out."
There you go.
Much love and respect to the brother Virgil Abloh for doing what he's doing. He's making super, super smart business move, and he's keeping it real, real low. rest in peace. Shout out to Robert Mugabe, you know, and everything that I know of him standing for. Like I said, for everybody out there, you know, who may have their opinion or who may have benefited or suffered from his reign. I mean, you know, hit us up, you know, let us get a clear picture of who this brother is, you know, because over here, you know, of course, you know, America always try to show you that, you know, the negative side of a black man, and you know, and we the black masculists try to show you the positive stuff, you know, because we are the creators of everything. Mm-hmm. So, you know, in closing, you know, I also want to say, you know, don't complain, brothers. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, the man is the mind is the man. You know what I'm saying? We manifest everything that is here. Everything that is here comes out of the mind. So we got to put it all together, and we got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And we got to take ownership of everything that's ours. So in closing, you know what I'm saying, I want to say, once again, I am Bar Battles. You know, you can check us out at theblackmasculist.com. That's TheBlackMasculist.com. You can check us out on social media at The Black Masculist 1, and that's on Instagram as well as Facebook. You can check us out. You can check this podcast out either on our website or on YouTube, The Black Masculist Show. Just look us up, and like I said, engage, conversate with us.
Engage, no? Just conversate. Right. This is more of a build. This is not a lesson. This is a building. You know, you have something to help us out. Give us things. If we miss something, put us on. Put me on. You know.
Shout out to everybody on Instagram. Yeah. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on WordPress, all my WordPress people. I ain't forget about y'all. You know, we definitely got to connect. Everybody on WordPress that follows the Black Masculist, I follow y'all too. We're gonna be doing a lot of work soon. But anything you want to leave with, cuz?
Hey, I just want to leave with, man, stay focused. Stay less emotions. Put the emotions aside, because what it does is slow us down. Focus on the goal. Take one day at a time. Be in the present. Pay attention to what's going on, and don't complain. Figure it out.
That's right. All right, man. And we are out of here. Once again, this is the Black Masculist Podcast, episode 2. So, all right, you know, we're going to say peace. You know, positive energy aligning creatively everywhere. Please educate all children every day. Peace.
They know better. Peace.